So joining us now to talk about the culture in the United States is Dr. Ben Carson. You know him, renowned neurologist, ran for president, was Donald Trump's Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, one of the few cabinet guys who didn't duke it out with President Trump. That was pretty smooth, that whole, you were there for the full time, right?
I was. Well, we are peas in a pod philosophically. We just have different personalities.
Yeah, but you're more mature than most of the others, if I can say so. I know you and I know all the others. So you know what you're dealing with Donald Trump. I mean, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's one way, and at 4 o'clock, it's the other way. You kind of just have to roll with it. You got a new book out, The Perilous Fight. I'm going to hold it up here. And it's a culture book. And I wrote the Culture Warrior book. God, it was 2002, I believe. So that's way back, 20 years ago. But your book is essentially, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I did read it, a plea for Americans to get back to traditional values of family and child raising. And that would solve many of our social problems and get us back into line to be an efficient, just society. That was my takeaway from your book. Is that what you wanted to do?
That's exactly what I wanted people to take away from it, recognizing that, the family is the cornerstone, it's the foundation of our society. And it's where children get their values from. And if we break that family down, where are their values coming from? You look at all these kids on these campuses who are protesting now, where are their values coming from? They don't respect life. They don't respect other people's opinions. And we have no leadership. So you see the whole society breaking down. I don't think it was a coincidence that we went from a bunch of ragtag militiamen to the pinnacle of the world in record time. But it was because of that value system that we had that was so important. And also,
one of the reasons that the traditional family has collapsed is because of the absence of fathers in the home. And you were 8 years old, you and your brother, and your father left, and your mother struggled to raise you in poverty in Detroit, did a great job according to all accounts. Did you ever confront your father later on in life and ask him why did you leave us like that? Did you ever get a chance to do that?
no, I saw very little of my father after he left. And the last time I saw him was when I got married. He made a brief appearance at my marriage. That was 49 years ago.
So then you're going to have to then project out, if you didn't confront your father with that, why do you think so many men are abandoning their children in the United States?
Because the role of the father in the family has been diminished. It's been attacked. You go back and you look at the sitcom starting about 6 years ago, and the father is some kind of idiot, some kind of dope, and the mother is a superhero. The father has very little to contribute. And that image of the male has just been denigrated over the course of time. We need to build him back up.
I don't know, Doc. You and I are about the same age, okay? We went through the Vietnam War. We went through all the societal changes. You've been a great father, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not in your house, but, you got grandchildren now and everything. I tried my damnedest to be a good father to my two children. Wasn't affected by any sitcom thing or anything outside. I just knew that was my primary job on this planet. And I can't figure out for the life of me why men who abandon their children do it. Are they just cowards?
I don't think they're cowards. I think this is all a well planned out Marxist strategy. The Marxists don't like having strong families, and particularly a strong male at the head of the family. They specifically state that they're against our patriarchal society. And they're doing things to undermine that. We have to be smart enough to recognize that we're being played. And I mentioned in the book, the congressional record, January the 10th, 1963, how they talk about 45 goals of communism in America, how breaking down the family, how driving wedges between children and their families are so important to them, how getting God out of the equation is important to them, indoctrination of our students, gaining control of teacher unions. I go down the whole list. These are things that are happening. We, the American people, are pawns. We're being played. We have to stop. We have to stop and recognize what's happening, so realize that we're not each other's enemy.
I agree. Last question for you. The book again is The Perilous Fight. My audience, your audience, going to applaud your book. They're going to agree with your book. But the people who need the book the most, they're probably not going to get it. So are we fighting a losing fight here?
Well, you have to know your enemy if you're going to win the fight. So even if the enemy doesn't read it, it's okay, as long as we know who we're fighting and what we're up against.
All right, Doc. I remember you 20 years ago signing a book to my son, and he still has that book in his library. And he just got back from Oxford. He's a scholar. And,
Wow.
Yeah, very proud of him. But he loves you.
Yeah.
He's a college kid who loves you. So I'm giving him this, and when I see you, I'll have you sign it, and I really appreciate you coming on tonight. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.